The crown will be mine.
Boo!
Hiss!
I will grant you 3 wishes.
Hi everyone, I hope you're well. Here it is, officially. We are about to start Creative Remedies Performing Arts first ever Panto month. I've got my Christmas brooch on, it's officially the 1st of December. We are into Panto month. And what that means is that every session that we do throughout December is going to be themed as pantomime, and hopefully that's going to help us gear up to Christmas. The countdown is now officially on, but also hopefully it will compensate a little bit for us not all being together and putting on a fantastic pantomime like you always do. So this is the first session, the Performing Arts. My name is Gemma, in case you don't know me, but I also have somebody else to introduce you to. Some of you may know this already. I don't think it's been hidden too well recently, but I am expecting a baby, and for that we need a new performing arts tutor, and we got one for you. She is fantastic, and I'm going to hand over to her now with the magic of Panto month to introduce herself. So here she is.
Hello, hi, yes, I'm Kate, and I will be covering Gemma while she goes away and has her little baby. I really wish I was meeting you face to face, but as we know, we can't do that at the moment. So I'm going to be continuing with these videos until we can meet face to face. So as Gemma says, it is very exciting because we have declared December Panto month. I love Panto. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite things. It was my first time I ever went to the theatre. I saw a pantomime, so I absolutely love it. So, first of all, I think we should do a bit of warming up of our voices because we might use them later on, okay? So I think we should do a few tongue twisters, okay? So the first one I would like you to do is red lorry, yellow lorry. I always want to laugh when I start doing a tongue twister. So here goes. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Now that was quite slow, so we can speed it up. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry. And you can do that anytime you fancy, while you're doing the washing up, get your faces warming and your voices warming. So that's our first one. Our second one is, here goes, might have to put my little readers on here for this one. Our second one is a fun, festive, fabulous feast. A fun, festive, fabulous feast. See how fast we can do that one. A fun, festive, fabulous feast. A fun, festive, fabulous feast. We can feel all our muscles and our mouths and everything warming up, okay? So again, we can go as fast as we like with that one. A fun-filled festival. Ooh, see, it's easy to make a mistake. Here goes. A fun, festive, fabulous feast. Whew, okay, we'll do one more. Here goes. It's a bit Panto themed. Why not? We're in Panto month. Here goes. A Panto pun is particularly pleasing. A Panto pun is particularly pleasing. Was it hard? Towards the end, that's quite difficult. Okay, so let's see how we go. A Panto pun is particularly See, it's hard. A Panto pun is particularly pleasing. A Panto pun is particularly pleasing. Whew. Well, I'm all warmed up, vocally and facially, so I'm going to pass you back to Gemma.
Oh, fantastic. That was brilliant. So nice to have Katie on board. I'm thrilled that she's going to be taking over in January. She is going to be with us all through Panto month, and then, yes, in January she is the new performing arts tutor, and she's absolutely fantastic. She's a brilliant workshop leader and actor. So you've got a good one there. And great tongue twisters there, getting us warmed up. So, I grab my notes because, yes, it's time for us to do some freeze frames. Panto related, of course. We're going to explore some of these pantomime characters that we're going to come into contact with throughout this whole month. So a freeze frame is where I will count you down, so 3, 2, 1, freeze, and then you're going to hold your body in like a statue of a character. I'm going to tell you what character that's going to be. The really important thing on freeze frames is that you use your whole body, okay? So it's not just your face, for example, it's not just your body, it's everything. All the way from the tips of your toes, all the way up to your top of your head, okay? Everything's got to be included. And this is Panto now. So everything is larger than life, bigger than you can ever imagine. And those of you that have done pantomimes with me before, we know that we've got to make our characters huge. So there's no too big in this. Okay, let's start then. Now I'm going to count you down 3, 2, 1, freeze, and you hold the freeze. If you would like to add a line of dialogue, what this character might say, you can do that, but you don't have to. So the first one we're going to create is a prince, okay? A lot of pantomimes have a prince. So thinking about how your body might change, your face might change, and if you want, what he might say as well. So 3, 2, 1, freeze. And if you want to add in a line, what a pleasure it is to meet you. Excellent, relax, fantastic. Okay, let's try a wicked queen. Not the most pleasant of characters, but every pantomime needs a baddie. Okay, so think about how different that is from the prince. Your whole body's going to be different. So shake off the prince, think about our wicked queen. And if you want to say a line, you can. Again, it's completely optional. So 3, 2, 1, freeze. I've not frozen my hands. Maybe you might say something what the big wicked queen might say. The crown will be mine. For example. Excellent. Okay, shake off the wicked queen. Very good, very good. Remember, nice and big with these characters. What else have we got? This is a classic character, and I wanted to throw this in there. It's Daisy the cow. Pops up in Jack and the Beanstalk, and famously, 2 actors would play one the front end, one the back end of the cow. You can choose which end of the cow you decide to be, okay? 3, 2, 1, freeze. Add a line of dialogue. Moo. Maybe you've got a talking Daisy, that's absolutely fine. Fantastic, okay, shake that off. Brilliant. Let's have a look. Peter Pan. So it's a hero. But not, we've seen our hero, the prince, the noble sort of prince. This is Peter Pan, the action hero. Okay, I'm going to leave you to do this one on your own with the dialogue as well, although I probably can't help myself doing a little bit. Okay, so 3 for Peter Pan, 2, 1, and freeze. And if you're going to say a line of dialogue, think about maybe he is fighting Captain Hook at this point, or he's with the Lost Boys, or he's talking to Wendy or Tinkerbell. Excellent, fantastic. Shake that one off. Okay, an ugly sister. These are a lot of fun to play, and we have done Cinderella in the past, and I know the actors who played those parts had an absolute ball. So now we all get to be an ugly sister, okay? Again, I might leave you to it. See if you can come up with your own ugly sister interpretation, okay? Think about what she might be doing. Is she bossing Cinderella around? Is she at the ball? Is she trying to squeeze a shoe on her foot? Okay, in 3, 2, 1, freeze. That's it. Make your facial expression as big as you can for this character. And then if you want to add a line of dialogue, add it in now. Excellent, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, final one. It's not a classic Panto character actually. I thought the last one we could do is an audience member. So as an audience member of a Panto, it's not the same as normal theatre, I guess, where you would sit quietly. you might be getting involved. You might be going up on stage. You might be reaching to catch something. You might be booing, hissing. He's behind you. Okay, so you get to be a Panto audience member. In 3, 2, 1, freeze. And then if you want to add in, shout one of those things that you might do. Boo! Hiss! Excellent, fantastic, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so that's just a few Panto characters that you've created there with your freeze frames. I am going to hand over now, again with the Fairy Dust Magical Panto Month way, to Katie for our next activity.
Hello, so we're going to carry on thinking about characters. We're going to carry on thinking about characters and what sounds or lines they might say. So here goes. Our first character we're going to think about is the fairy of the piece, the bit of magic that ties it all together. So whenever you hear fairy, you are going to say bibbidi bobbidi boo. Okay? So let's try that one out. Fairy, bibbidi bobbidi boo. Brilliant. Okay, our next one is the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk. And when you hear giant, I want you to say fee, fi, fo, fum. Okay, they're all a bit like tongue twisters like before. Okay, so here goes. Fee, fi, fo, fum. And we can say them quickly or we can say them drawn out and slow. It's up to you. Our next character is Genie. And I would like you to say, when you hear the word genie, I will grant you 3 wishes. I will grant you 3 wishes. Brilliant. Our next one is Cinderella. Now Cinderella, she has such a hard time at the beginning of her story. She's been treated badly by the ugly sisters, but then she gets transformed into this beautiful princess-like person with a gorgeous dress, and she goes to the ball and she will say, it's lovely. So whenever you hear Cinderella, you say, it's lovely. Okay, our next one, a baddie of the piece. I know you've just met a baddie via Gemma. The baddie this time is going to be King Rat from Dick Whittington. So when you hear King Rat, I would like you to say boo and hiss. Okay, so boo and hiss. Nice. Our next character I would like to meet is the dame. Oh, I love a dame in a pantomime. Cheeky that they are usually. So whenever you hear dame, I would like you to say, oh yes it is. Oh yes it is. Oh nice. Okay, so let's go through them all again. So we've got the fairy, bibbidi bobbidi boo. We have the giant, fee fi fo fum. We have the genie, I shall grant you 3 wishes. We have Cinderella, it's lovely. We have King Rat, of course, the baddie, boo and hiss. And then of course the dame, oh yes it is. Oh yes it is. So I would like you to remember those little phrases that go with each character. And of course you can bring your bodies into it like you did with the freeze frames with Gemma, but we were just focusing on our voices again. So I'm going to pass you back to Gemma now, where it's all going to tie together and hopefully make sense. So good luck.
Wonderful, excellent. Okay, so now you know the actions and you know the characters you're looking out for. I'm going to read the story, and when you hear those characters, you're going to do the actions or the sounds or the moves that Katie has taught you. Okay, in between the characters, if you want to act out the rest of the story, you totally can. You can do whatever you like. Okay, good luck. Some of them will be quite well spaced out, some of them will come quick and fast, so you've got to be on the ball. So this is, I haven't given it a title actually, I'm just going to think of one now. Party at the Bowling Alley. There you go. Party at the Bowling Alley. The dame was turning the big 5-0, so had a disco at a bowling alley and invited all her friends. The genie was the DJ, and the giant was in charge of the food. Cinderella and King Rat had fallen out because Cinderella had accidentally trod on King Rat's tail at the fairies' cocktail party. But thankfully today they were all on their best behaviour for the birthday girl, the dame. The genie played some classic songs like Tragedy and the Macarena. And the giant knew all the moves, so he taught them to everyone. The giant put on a great spread, and he even thought to do some vegan food, which King Rat was really pleased about due to his allergies. Cinderella beat everyone at bowling, even the fairy, who has been known to use her magic to win in the past. The dame had a wonderful time and has vowed to turn the big 5-0 again next year. The giant, the genie, the fairy, Cinderella, and even King Rat all left with a big smile on their face. The end. Hey, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I hope you kept up. I was leaving a few gaps. Now if you want to go back and do it again, if you got a bit muddled up, just rewind the video a little bit and have another go. See if you can fit in all of those actions that Katie taught you for those characters. And also if you can fit in some little action in between as well, of dancing, doing the tragedy, or playing some bowling, then add that in as well. So maybe rewind and have another go. And finally, last task for today really, if you want to, you can make up your own story. So you know your characters you've got to involve there. I did the dame's 50th birthday party at a bowling alley. You could do anything you like. You could do a new pantomime, you could do a courtroom drama, including them all, whatever you want, and have a go at writing your own story. I think if you can put them in a strange situation that they maybe wouldn't normally be in, that's really interesting and funny. That's why I did mine like that, but it's up to you. And all that's left for me to say really is goodbye and thank you so much for joining us for the first Panto month session. Look forward to seeing you again next week. I'll just hand over to the wonderful Katie to say goodbye as well. See you next week.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.